But I believe there are too many students who are sitting in classrooms who are hungry 5, 6 o'clock in the evening to have their first meal. Look at us already jump into week 2 of the Reason with Ash Talk Series 2.0 on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Thanks for joining me. Now, do me a favor. Put the flag of the country that you're currently located in the comment section so I know that you're here and that it's working. And if you can see me clearly, click on one of those reactions, the angry face, the thumbs up, the laughing emoji, any one of those reactions so that I know that they're still working. Reason with Ash is a show for Jamaicans and lovers of Jamaica who actually want to discuss current affairs that matters to them. So yeah, we're going to be talking about current affairs that actually matter to you. And if you missed episode 1 of Reason with Ash, you probably haven't noticed that we have a new segment. Yes. So for the next 3 weeks, I will be taking you on my rebranding journey. Yup, the Reason with Ash personal branding segments. Yeah. So the first chapter is actually uploaded to my YouTube channel. So I encourage you to go over there and catch up because we're moving into chapter 2. Today, I'm Ashleigh-Ann Mowatt, a practicing journalist, working mommy, media communication coach, and digital branding facilitator. Now, let's get to the show. Guess what? He's back. Your favorite first-year law student who gave us an excellent lesson. Look here. He gave us an excellent lesson last week on constitutional reform, fundamental human rights, and separation of powers. If you know who I'm talking about, put his name in the comment section below. Right? And I'm gonna do you the honors of welcoming on this on stage. Hi, Saevion McFadden. So, Saevion, you are responsible for community news. What do you have for me today?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Ashley. So, recently, the Jamaica Youth Advocacy Network is seeking the signatures of Jamaicans to implement a new wellness and nutrition policy in Jamaican schools. Now, JAN's executive director, Shanique Bowden, along with her team, are advocating for the policy to be implemented that will, at the end of the day, encourage the establishment of school food gardens so that students can plant their own fruits and vegetables, as well as increasing efforts in schools so as to combat the stigmatization that occurs with childhood obesity, among other NCDs with nutrition education, and requiring that an adequate amount of water coolers are at schools so that students can refill their water bottles without having to purchase any water, among others. And this is all, very unique recommendations, and all of them, among others, can be found on their official website, www.youthadvocateja.org. So, Ashley, what do you think about this policy? Do you think that this is something that the Jamaican public needs to be a part of? Do we need to rally behind this? And why do you think that?
Well, I don't know if that's a question that you want to ask. I think the question I want to ask is why haven't we implemented this policy already?
That's true.
And I must say that this is not the first time that we're seeing a youth organization or just overall a goodwill organization advocating for proper nutrition of our children, like ensuring that our children receive balanced meals at least 3 times a day so that they can actually focus on learning. It's sad, but I believe there are too many students who are sitting in classrooms right now who are hungry, who have not had, who have to wait until 5, 6 o'clock in the evening to have their first meal. I don't know how they survive. Because I could not survive. As a matter of fact, when I was in school, I used to trouble with dizzy spells. So I had to have my food. So I can just imagine how difficult it is for students who who are not privileged enough to have balanced meals.
Mhm.
And then in addition to that, you pointed out the fact that they're trying to manage NCDs among uh,
Among others,
young
among
people.
because I've realized it too, and that's why I'm so happy that it's a part of their recommendations. There are a lot of young people who do not really understand these NCDs, like diabetes, like the obesity, like
And when we say
hypertension
NCDs, it's non-communicable diseases.
diseases, right? And
Yes,
the sad fact is that persons put a stigma on persons who are like obese and whatnot, not realizing that they
yes,
too, as young people, can be susceptible to other kinds of NCDs like diabetes, like hypertension,
exactly.
because of the food that they eat. So I'm very happy that JAN, that's their acronym, JAN has been able to put that in their recommendations, and the policy has been approved by Parliament actually, and what they need
Yes,
now are for signatures of us Jamaican people to have it be rallied so that we can showcase we're rallying behind them. And the
yes.
moment that happens, we feel like, according to my sources at JN, they're going to start implementing that policy in the different schools, and they're going to be working with the Ministry of Health and Wellness to make sure that that becomes a priority. So yeah, this is
So,
very good.
so, 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 so let me be clear. The government is already on board for the implementation of this new policy.
Right, exactly. Yes.
All right. And to break it down into simple terms, especially for our Jamaicans in the diaspora, what is this policy guaranteeing for students in primary school?
It's guaranteeing that they will be able to, as you rightfully said, have balanced meals. It guarantees their access to safe, clean water, which that's another thing too. Not many children drink water. People don't understand the importance of simply drinking water. And it guarantees as well the it guarantees that they're more educated on matters of this kind from a very young age, so that they're able to mold their lives accordingly and start to become more healthy. And truth be told, when they do get that nutrition education at such a young age, in primary school, you're talking about the moment when like your mind is able to like soak in as much information as possible. When you do that, it never leaves you, and then you're able to share that with other people, like your friends, like your family, and it will start to have Jamaica become a more healthy nation as a result. So I'm just excited. I'm excited about that.
Let's call it what it is. Like now we're going to see children telling their parents, "Mommy, I don't want any bag juice. Can I have a bottle of water?"
Yeah,
You know,
that's the
growing up,
culture
bag
talk.
juice, suck.
Right,
What other
exactly.
thing? Bun. Those are the go-to items for my friends and I.
Mm.
Like you have to have a suck in your hand. Not even at school, at church or after church. Bag juice, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. and right?
Yeah.
And any other time when I feel like, and there was not much push for drinking water
Mm.
and clean water. That's another thing. There are so many institutions in Jamaica that even when we have like the drought crisis, they would say, okay, we have to suspend classes because we don't have sufficient water stored, or we don't have enough water tanks.
Right.
I am hoping with the introduction of this policy in schools, we can see probably even the private sector helping schools to fix that issue. You understand what I mean?
For sure.
At the,
Definitely.
yeah, because at the end of the day, these are the young people who will eventually continue doing the work that you and I are doing.
Right.
So it only makes sense to support their growth and their development.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Now, if
Completely.
you're watching this show on Jamaicans.com Facebook page, I'm going to remind you that it also premieres on my YouTube channel, Ashleigh-Ann Mowatt, and I do a live segment on LinkedIn. So after this premiere, I want you to head over to Ashleigh-Ann Mowatt's YouTube channel to continue watching Reason with Ash. All right, so I'm not going to stick too long on this particular topic because we have a very interesting conversation to have for our local news segment. And I'm going to read the article from the Jamaica Gleaner that I got some insights from. So the article on the Jamaica Gleaner reads, former St. Jago High School athlete Navasky Anderson broke the men's national 800 meters record at the NCAA Division I Outdoor Championships in Eugene, Oregon on Friday night. So that would have been, this was reported Saturday, June 11th. So it was before now. I think it was last week. Anderson, competing for Mississippi State University, finished second in a personal best 1 minute 45.02 seconds in the final, behind winner whom I can't pronounce your name of Texas Technical University, who won in 1 minute 44.49 seconds. Now, the old record was 1 minute 45.30 seconds. So, trust me, this is a phenomenal accomplishment by Mr. Navasky Anderson, who used to attend the St. Jago High School. So, all of the St. Jago alums, please make some noise. Which school did you attend, Saevion? High
Nah, I
school.
attended Arden. So I can't make
Arden
my
High.
noise.
Was Arden big in track?
It
Nah, you
wasn't.
guys are academics people.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
If there are any St. Jacob past students right now on watching this show, comment right now and tell me what you think about the exceptional performance of Mr. Navasky Anderson, who is currently representing the Mississippi State University. We saw some people, a bit of conversation about this on social media, but I particularly chose this one because this is not the first time that we're seeing Jamaican student athletes excelling on the international stage, right?
Mhm.
But my concern, and I want to know what your thoughts are. Please put it in the comment section. Why can't they stay in Jamaica and receive the training that they need to represent Jamaican colleges and universities? Why are our talented, gifted student athletes taking up scholarships in US? Well, in the US, I don't know about Canada. But yeah, why is that? I have an issue with it. What are your thoughts on it, Saevion?
Well, to be very honest, I think that there are two reasons really. And the reasons to me are from different perspectives. On the
Yes,
student side, the reason why they would feel more, up to try and go abroad instead of staying within their country is that they would get more experiences. The sad truth is that they'll get more experiences and more funding and more high level of that training and that
training. Yes,
resource that they'd have. Because the truth is, yes, Of course, we have our own brilliant track clubs here in Jamaica, but the equipment and the stuff that they would be able to get abroad is much better. And because of that, they'd feel more inclined to go abroad. And then on top of that, they'd get a university degree from abroad as well, which is, that's good as well. Of course,
That
that's
they
very nice to
that they
have.
don't have to stress the parents about getting.
Exactly, because it would be
That's
all
another
paid
thing.
for,
It will be all
So
paid for.
as
So,
opposed to here, they don't have sports scholarships for the University of the West Indies,
well,
or it's
not
not in
many, not
minor.
many. I know of a few.
Right. Exactly. So it's only a little bit. But in those
Yeah.
universities, they want persons like Navasky. They want persons like him. So they're going to put a lot of money to it. But so on the students' perspective, their perspective, it's a lot of benefits abroad as opposed to here,
You know
and
what I
then
want to
yeah.
know? What percentage of student athletes, Jamaican student athletes, actually return to Jamaica to be a part of our
Not
Olympic
many.
team? You know,
Well, I won't say not
once
many. I'll say some. I'll say some, because
I don't
there's
go
some who will
ahead.
stay and there's some who will leave. Because I mean, we do know persons who are athletes who they had university education abroad and they're representing Jamaica still.
We already see the nurses leaving. We already see the teachers are leaving, and now we're even seeing more skilled Jamaicans leaving, particularly those with athletic abilities.
Mhm.
What is going to happen to Jamaica? I'm very concerned,
Yeah, yeah, and
and I and
it's not
and
gonna
I
change.
wonder what more can we do beyond the economics, or can we, or is it impossible to ignore the economics?
It's impossible to. Like, we have to acknowledge the economic part of all of this. This brain drain taking place in Jamaica. It's very saddening, as you said, Ashley. It's bad. And
Yes.
the sad fact too is that this wave seems to not want to stop. And I
No.
feel like that's why economics are so important in all of this, because I feel like it's sad. It's so hard. It's like a double-edged sword with Jamaica. We need funding,
Yes.
but we need funding in order to get these things done. As I said last week, you need funding for the justice system to get better. You need funding as
Oh,
well
jeez.
to get this done and get it better. But Jamaica doesn't have a lot of money. We're still a developing country. So it's such a double-edged sword when they have to be deciding between the human and social development of Jamaicans as opposed to the economic stability of the country as a whole. And that's the real issue here, you know? Yeah, they
I
have to.
understand what you're saying, but I don't know if I want to ease up too much on this point. And let me make it.
Hmm.
Yes, we may never have the same amount of resources of first world countries enjoy.
Right.
But we have a very troubling issue of the distribution of wealth and resources in Jamaica.
That is very true.
Where are we putting that our priorities? Because clearly we have a factory when it comes on to athletic, I can't pronounce the word, but athletic abilities in
Hmm.
Jamaica. We have a number of talented athletes. We see them from the prep and primary school level.
Yes.
So why aren't we generating more funds, more effort, more resources into the honing of that industry and the development of that industry so that it can in turn generate revenue for us? Like, I don't. I can't fathom it. I don't
You
know.
know, I think the thing is we probably need to shift our minds from the public sector, the government, to the private sector. Because just recently, actually, the Sagicor Foundation, I'm a scholar, Sagicor scholar, proud scholar.
Oh,
But
great.
but the Sagicor Foundation actually had a primary slash prep school championships not too long
Yes,
ago,
yes, yes,
right?
yes.
And
I'll
I think
share the footage.
it's things like that that really, as you said, hone these young people who have this ability and make them
Yes,
feel inspired to continue and stay in Jamaica. Remember, now, as you said, from like when you're a young child, those things will never leave you. And remembering those experiences that they would have had at the primary school level in Jamaica and the accolades that they would have received, they'd feel more inclined to stay here. So you have a point there for sure, Ashley, for sure.
but I want to also point out something just before we wrap up this conversation.
Of course.
Pardon a bit of rose. I'm sure people in diaspora can speak about that. And sadly, I actually stumbled upon a study that was published by, I think it's a graduate student at the
Mm-hmm.
University of Denver in 2014. Title of the study is Off the Beaten Track, the Experiences of Jamaican Student Athletes in U.S. Higher Education. And basically, what Miss Michelle Antoinette Rankin is, well, what our study has found was that a number of student athletes, Jamaican student athletes, are mistreated
Mm,
within that system.
interesting.
So that's another part of it. And many of them, these stories aren't told. Well, if they are, let me say, if they are, they are not
And
shared
yeah,
so regularly.
right.
It's just like the situation with the student work and travel. You have good stories, but there are also bad
Bad
stories,
stories. Yes.
right? And we probably need to look into the conditions under which our student athletes are expected to thrive at
Mm-hmm.
US colleges. Like, to what extent is it damaging their self-esteem, their morals, just everything that has to do with them as a person and their
Right.
development? Is it really helping them? Because the economics is good, yeah, but what about the individual? What happens when that person is injured? What happens when they are just not making the transition from Jamaican culture to American culture? And what's the term that they use in sociology again? Culture shock hit them.
Mm, that too.
Who
Yes, of
is
course.
there to advocate for them? So I don't know, it's a lot to unpack.
It is.
I do commend. Go ahead,
No, I
Saevion.
was, no, I was just going to say that it is a lot to unpack because,
Yes,
the first thing that came up in my mind is probably the reason why we're not hearing so much of this is that they don't want it to be heard. Remember, they're on scholarships. Their entire life is here right now. And if they
yes,
decide to, report this, it's going to impugn on the university. And then the university might be obliged to remove them from that scholarship program that they were a part of. And, as a scholarship recipient, I can tell you it's a very scary thing because you don't have the substitute money to, do what you need
yes,
to do.
yes,
So they feel like I don't want to speak for athletes on a whole, but I can say as a scholarship recipient, I can know for a fact that some people stay silent in order to keep their scholarship and to just say, you know what, let me wait this out and let me do what I need to do
yes,
and then move
yes.
on. So it's sad. It's very
And
sad.
it is sad. And I want to make this point. No amount of money, exposure is worth ill treatment. You
Mm,
hear? So I think this is exactly how we can wrap up
yeah.
our Jamaican news segment of the Reason with Ash talk series. I encourage you to head on over to my YouTube channel where you will see me performing some soca moves while I continue to take you on my rebranding journey. Thank you so much, Saevion, for joining me for the first 2 episodes.
Thank you so much, Ashley. It's been an honor.
And
It's been
tell
an
all your
honor.
friends. I want all your bright law friends to be a part of the program as well.
Okay, why not? All right, no problem.
Do you have any direct contact information or how people can get in touch with the Jamaica Youth Advocacy Network?
Well, actually, you can go to their website once again, www.youthadvocateja.org, and you can, sign the petition that they need, of course, and all of their contact information will be in the website. So you can just head on over there and, support one of our youth-led organizations that are working so hard to advocate for the needs of our youth. Yeah.
Yes, love it, love it. Take care, Saevion.
You too.
And you're not sharing your contact information again?
Oh, okay, fine. All right, I will. So my IG, it's just my name, Saevion McFadden, Saevion McFadden. You can contact me there. A DM is good. And if you want to support anything that I am doing for the Mona Law Society, the US Stat Ambassador Corps, the Lender Hand JA Foundation, a nonprofit that I started with my very good friend Shari Webb, anything you'd want to do to help out your country, then I am always here to take any responses, anything. It's I hope that you guys would be willing to assist Jamaica on our growth to development. We need it.
Definitely. Thanks again, and see you over on YouTube.
Bye, guys.
Hey everybody, look here. I am so happy. I'm so happy because it's so funny. We're just getting to know each other, and you already know what feeds my soul. Literally. So, yeah, I know you're probably wondering what is Ashley talking about. The comments, the voice notes, the shares, the new subscribers, all of it really feeds my soul and makes me so happy. I am so, like, right now as I'm recording episode 2, I'm seeing I'm seeing another comment, and it really makes me happy. So as we warm up in this video, I'm going to walk you through my why. And just to remind you, it's so easy to feel demotivated, especially when you have some expectations as to how your personal branding strategy should perform, and it is falling below the mark. I have to tap back into my why. I have to tap back into, girl, you're not doing it like that because you want to enjoy the soft life. Girl, you're not doing that. You're not stressing out yourself. You're not burning out because you want the freedom to build out your personal brand uninhibited by a toxic work culture. And me no want to preach about part of the reason why we have toxic work culture is because we don't want to set boundaries, we don't want to set boundaries. And girl, you want to show up for yourself and show yourself, say, hey, you girl, you can be a thriving working mommy. This is exactly alright. Yeah. Oh, by the way, this is a soca routine that I'm doing this week, ladies and gentlemen, because we have to keep it spontaneous now. We can't use the same genre every week. So it's soca this week, so it's a whole heap of jumping up and whining. Okay, so today's topic is why personal branding, why rebranding. I don't know about you, but I love a soft life. I love being able to grow, to watch my family grow. And this is not a spoiler alert, I am not pregnant. Relax yourself. So don't try to zoom in for the video right now. Right? Yes, girl. I don't know which move that them give me for do now. Anyway, I like to spend time with my daughter. As a matter of fact, you're gonna see her in a couple of these videos because I'm pretty sure she's not gonna allow me to just continue on this journey and not show up herself. She is that child. So that's one of the reasons. Ashleigh-Ann Mowatt is a digital mom entrepreneur, because I want to enjoy days when I don't spend
10-15 hours
at work. I spend 2 hours and still make enough money and even more money than what I would have made doing 15 hours of work. My other why is I wanted the freedom. I wanted the freedom to build out my personal brand uninhibited by a toxic work culture. And me not throw no stones. Yes, girl. You girl. He's whining. Whining. Waistline oiled. So, as I was telling you, my second why is I want the freedom to build out my personal brand uninhibited by a toxic work culture. We have it not only in media but in so many. And you know, say if this Peony Wally in my recording right now, I'm gonna feel away. Why when me I try to record them something here happen? Back to what I was saying. Media.
And I'm not throwing stones at none of my supervisors or my previous supervisors, my previous bosses, and none of my colleagues who are currently working in the media and communication industry.
The reality is, because of the demands of the industry, it can get toxic. It can look like poor working conditions. It can look like overworking. It can look like burnout. And honestly, I did not see the need for me to present myself in that way to my daughter. I wanted the freedom to show her that, darling, you can enjoy life and enjoy life on your terms with the skills and the abilities that the universe have blessed you with, and your mentors and your teachers and everybody in your journey has helped you to sharpen and hone. I wanted to show her that, and stuck in myself to a 9-to-5 was not going to give me that freedom. As I say, I'm not throwing stones at anybody who has a 9-to-5, because look here, the truth is there are working moms who are still building out their personal brands in a 9-to-5. It is possible, and we will talk about that in future videos. But as I was telling you, one, I want to enjoy soft life and grow my family. I am enjoying a softer life. 8, 10, 12 hours on straight anymore. And let me be fair, I'm not doing it every day, because there are days when, look here, as an entrepreneur, you're going to have to put in those extra hours to see some returns. And I have an opportunity to recover. So that's important for me, and that is important for me to show my daughter that rest is also important. Alright, so soft life, freedom, and finally, and I alluded to it the last time, I wanted to continue to show up for myself and show other women like myself, Jamaican women, that it is possible to be a thriving working mom. Yes, I wanted to show them that. One of the things that I actually despised during my pregnancy was how a number of people second guessed my abilities. They knew, well, one of the things that and I don't know, I guess some of the mommies watching this can tell me what you think. It wasn't until watching an episode of Odyssey with Yendi that I learned that it's okay to make mistakes when you're pregnant. It's okay to forget things to be forgetful when you're pregnant, because it's actually biological. When you get pregnant, the body sends more blood, put more energy to the part of the brain that allows you to connect with that fetus inside of you. So what happens that the logical and the reason, the rational part of the brain don't get that much attention while you're pregnant. That's all it means. The body's naturally helping you to prepare for this journey of being a mom. And for me, that's admirable. That's genius. And it's something to be celebrated. So, yeah, I did make some mistakes. But what I totally despised was how harshly I was criticized for it. And while it's heartbreaking, I want to be alright. Watch here. Girl tired, man. Girl is tired. You see, even though there are many criticisms made against women, Jamaican women, we name easy for call, I wanted to show me that regardless of what people think of us, we are still able to thrive. Regardless of whatever decisions we make for our lives, we are still able to thrive. Me showing up for myself feeds my soul. Yes, yeah. So, and part of me showing up for myself right now is to just take a break from this. Today has been one of those long days where I am just tired. As a matter of fact, tomorrow is intended to be a break day for me. Right? So I just want to wrap up all my projects for today. Or get as much as I want to just get as much as I can get done today so that I can enjoy one of those break days in my quote-unquote work week. You know, I didn't include this, but a bonus why is the flexibility. I wanted that flexibility. Yeah, you see?
Flexibility.
Show me the wine. So, I hope this inspires you. It certainly did for me. And I'll see you in the next video. Love, joy, and peace, my people.
I needed to say this. What I really liked about what I was seeing on your, the one I said that I was looking at just now, is the fact that you do it with your life happening around you. You understand? Like, you know, a lot of us, probably myself included, would try to put the baby somewhere. And I think that's a part of what is hindering me from being consistent, because I'm waiting for favorable conditions, so to speak. So if I have the baby and she's going to make noise, I'm probably not going to do anything. You understand? But, you know, I like the fact that you do it with her and you involve her, you know, you talk to her, that kind of thing. Keep up the good work. All right, blessings.